I stood alongside Marco Pierre White, for 2 years, side by side, 16 hours a day, relentless, because I was in that pursuit of perfection. And this guy put food on a plate like Picasso.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get that level of discipline. And so Marco was up north with some food critic away for the weekend. And for some unknown reason, I can't remember, but he couldn't come back to the restaurant to open it after the holidays. And all of a sudden I was in charge. And he was on the phone every 2 minutes explaining what to do. But I knew what to do, but I'd never been given the reins. And at 22, when you're dropped in the shit like that, it's sink or swim. So I didn't really understand the amount of pressure I was under at that particular time. But what I did see was empty plates coming back from the restaurant. And it was a high octane 2 Michelin star establishment. And every customer was licking their lips. Every customer couldn't quite believe how good the food was. And it was that moment. Shit, Marco's not here. But what he's given me and taught me, I've just replicated. Now I need to become individual. I need to step away from what he's shown me. And I need to search for my own DNA.
But you already, though, had something, because you don't end up in a Marco Pierre White kitchen unless you're already grafting, chasing perfection, thinking that you actually deserve to be there. Like, even further back, I know you played football as a young guy.
Yeah.
Like, was this mindset that Gordon was destined for something there when you were 12, 13, 14, 15?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I was hungry. I was in pursuit of something to better myself. It's interesting when you grow up with a disadvantaged childhood. At the time, you don't know it's that bad. But there is embarrassing moments at school where you're called out to do the photographs. And you got to go with the family, because I had my brother and my sister at the same school, because you weren't allowed to do it individually because your parents would never pay for that. And then there was the embarrassment every day when you went into the refectory for lunch. We had luncheon vouchers and there was a separate queue. And so it was like council house kids on the left-hand side and posh kids on the right-hand side. And that gave you a complex. That gave you a sort of a stern warning to get your shit together. So I think that's what helped shape me for that level of hunger to get focused, because I wasn't embarrassed about what my mum put on the table. I was embarrassed about the way it was segregated, in the way that you were made to feel separate from the classroom because your mum and dad couldn't afford to give you any money for school lunch.
You've spoken so much about him over the years.
Yeah.
I've heard numerous times you said, "Oh, Marco, I just had, it was incredible. What a guy."
Yeah.
What was it?
I think we had similar backgrounds.
Right.
He lost his mum at a young age, and his father, he didn't have a good relationship. So I think you attach yourself to similar circumstances. And then there was an air of confidence that he knew he was better than the field. He'd worked for Nico, Albert, Pierre, Raymond Blanc, and all of a sudden, he was the new kid on the block. I knew after spending a couple of years with Marco that I had to come back to the fold with something different. So that's what got me into the Gavroche under the Roux brothers, because it was an area of sort of fine dining that I'd never been exposed to. 3-star Michelin. Marco was 2, and Le Gavroche was 3. But even before I went to Le Gavroche, I knew I had to go to France, because I had to come back to the fold and outsmart Marco. He'd never gone to France. He got stopped in his tracks and he got too big too soon, so he couldn't disappear to France. So I knew in my engine room, I had that little advantage that I'm going to fuck off to France, become French, absorb myself in one of the most amazing countries in the world, and just gather more intel and come back and outsmart everybody in London.
Did you love the idea of arriving green behind the gills, inexperienced in Marco's kitchen, and then having in your head that one day I'm going to be a better chef than you? Did you know that less than half of Brits eat breakfast every day of the week? I mean, that's amazing. But why? Well, it's because we're all time poor, especially in the mornings. So we compromise. My fix is Huel's nutritionally complete high-protein shake, a complete meal in a bottle that slots perfectly into my life. Head to the link in the description for a free t-shirt on your first order with Huel. How can you resist that?
Yeah, because he wanted you to. He pushed you to the extreme.
How did he do that?
Because, he drummed it in. If you're going to do it to your best. And if you don't want to do it to your best, get the fuck out of here. Don't waste my time, and certainly don't waste yours. And I think it's a lot of life lessons early on, because you're getting structured. You're getting hungry, you're getting knowledge, and all of a sudden you're becoming a beast because of the monster he created and the monster you're working for. And so I see those environments all the time, and I say to the individuals, stay in that environment, get what you need and get out. And when the shit hits the fan, learn to dance in the storm. It's a great place to be in, because somewhere down the line, there's going to be a shitstorm on your radar, and you're going to stand tall in that storm, and you're going to get through it.
And when the storm would come to you in the kitchen,
yeah,
what was the best way to get out of that storm?
Solution. Because I was experienced enough to handle that. And I'd know there wasn't any area in that kitchen, restaurant, bar, wine cellar that I hadn't tackled. And so that's what you go in search of. And I knew my weaknesses. And that's why stepping into Le Gavroche, I'd never baked before. But if I'm going to have my own business, I need to understand how to bake a pointe poilin, a sourdough, focaccia. I need to understand that. But I came out of Harvey's under Marco's tenor, going into Le Gavroche. I was, posted to get on the fish and the meat, the top two sections. But no, I wanted to become a baker because it's one bit that I hadn't understood the chemistry of baking. So on that trajectory, you've got to still find those weaknesses to enhance, that platform to make sure it is solid. So when that shitstorm comes, you are not depending on anybody because you've got it in your itinerary.
Were you getting arrogant at any point in this period and needing to be slapped down, or did you remain humble?
I think arrogant is the wrong word. It's called confidence,
right?
And that's misconstrued to those that are lesser talented than you. Look at that arrogant twat. He doesn't. He doesn't like being told, no, dude, I've got my shit together. I know my shit. You're a dreamer. And in this industry, like many, industries, there's dreamers that want it, but haven't got it to commit, haven't got it with mindset, haven't got it with their broad shoulders, and haven't got it in their attitude. So, I'm going to put that down to confidence, not arrogance.
Yeah.
There's a big difference, Jake.
So what's arrogance then? Is arrogance having the confidence without the hard work and the ability to back it up? Or?
No. Arrogance is mouthing off you can do it and not living up to the fucking potential.
Nice. Can we talk then about hard work, attention to detail?
Yeah.
Because everywhere you look, everyone tells you I work really hard, I pay great attention to detail.
Yes.
Take us into those early years as a chef. What did hard work actually look like?
Yeah, hard work was that relentless fifth, sixth gear, standing in front of a tiny team and remaining as an example where you're focusing on their weaknesses, offloading everything you've got, and then still finding gears that the team around you never thought you'd have. Setting examples, first in, last out. Being more personable with the staff in a way that you're showing them how good they can become, but they need to commit to being good for as long a period as you can get out of them. And that takes a lot of convincing, because when you're learning, it becomes so much more crucial when that teacher is inspirational. So you can't shut down. So I learned to open up early on. And then there's this level of unselfishness. Chefs are precious, dainty little souls that are guarded with everything they've got. They don't want to give much. So I understood the importance of opening up and talking and showing. And then when the shit hits the fan, here's why it went wrong. This is what we're going to do. Dust yourself down, bounce back. And that journey on the way back is so much more rewarding than sitting on top.